The house was old, the kind that held memories in its walls like quiet whispers. It stood at the end of a narrow road surrounded by tall trees that moved gently with the wind. When Lily and her father moved there, she felt both curious and unsure. The rooms were large, the floors creaked softly, and sunlight entered through dusty windows in thin golden lines. It felt like a place that had once been full of life and laughter, but now rested in peaceful silence. Lily's mother had passed away the year before, and since then the world felt different to her. Sounds seemed softer, days slower. Her father tried his best to stay strong, but she could see the tiredness in his eyes. They rarely spoke about their loss, not because they didn't feel it, but because the sadness was too deep for words. The new house was meant to be a fresh start, a place where they could slowly learn to breathe again. One quiet afternoon, while her father was fixing something in the garden, Lily explored the upper floor. At the end of a narrow hallway, she found a small wooden door leading to the attic. It took effort to open, as if it had not been touched in years. A cool, dusty smell greeted her as she climbed the steps, her heart beating with a mix of fear and curiosity. The attic was filled with old furniture covered in white sheets, forgotten picture frames, and boxes tied with faded ribbons. Light came through a tiny round window, making floating dust look like tiny stars. Lily walked slowly, careful not to disturb too much, when she noticed a small wooden box placed alone on a shelf. It was dark brown, with delicate carvings of flowers on its lid. She lifted it gently. It was lighter than she expected. When she opened it, a soft melody began to play. The sound was gentle and slow, like a lullaby carried by the wind. Lily froze, her breath catching in her chest. It was the same melody her mother used to hum when she tucked her into bed. She hadn't heard it since. Tears filled her eyes, but they were not only sad tears. They carried surprise, warmth, and something she hadn't felt in a long time, comfort. She sat down on the wooden floor, holding the music box close, letting the melody wrap around her like a soft blanket. In that quiet attic, she did not feel alone. That evening, she showed the music box to her father. When the tune began to play, he closed his eyes, and Lily saw his face change. For a moment, he looked less tired, more like the father she remembered before everything changed. They sat together at the kitchen table, listening until the music faded into silence. They did not say much more, but something had shifted between them. The silence was no longer heavy. It felt shared, understood. From that day on, the music box stayed on Lily's bedside table. Whenever nights felt too quiet, she would wind it gently and listen. The melody did not bring only memories of loss. It reminded her of love, the kind that does not disappear, even when someone is gone. Her father began to smile more often too. Sometimes he would pause outside her room when the music played, just to listen for a few seconds before going to bed. They still missed her mother deeply, but the pain slowly changed shape. It became softer, like a scar instead of an open wound. One afternoon, Lily returned to the attic, this time not with fear, but with calm. She realized the house was not just old, it was a keeper of stories. The music box had been waiting there, quiet and patient, until someone needed it most. Standing by the small window, she watched the trees move outside. The wind carried the same gentle rhythm as the melody she loved. She understood something simple but powerful. Memories are not meant to trap us in the past. They are small lights we carry forward, helping us find our way. That night, as the music box played once more, Lily lay in bed with a peaceful heart. The house no longer felt unfamiliar. It felt like home, a place where love, even unseen, still lived in soft melodies and quiet corners. And in the attic above, dust floated through the moonlight, settling gently around the empty shelf where the music box had once waited, its purpose finally fulfilled.